It was the 1990s, a big show in a small town off I-75 in Georgia. They were called the biggest cocks in the henhouse. But things have changed since then. It's been 30 years, and they finally found a home here, like everyone else, doing a podcast. It's Erica and Mark, the phone call podcast thing.
Hey.
Hey, how are you, buddy?
Not bad. How you doing?
I could use another about 15 minutes of nap there. I didn't have a Celsius today. This show is not sponsored by Celsius, but it should be. Because that stuff, man, has changed my life. I never thought I would be ruled by energy drinks.
Oh,
but
see this.
I am.
You're gonna. They're the silent killer right next to vaping. I'm telling
Oh my
you.
God! What are you, a Mormon too?
They're
You can't have caffeine.
They're gonna kill. No, I like caffeine. I drink coffee every day, but it's
Yeah,
like,
so do I.
but those energy drinks are. All I remember is, I remember two highs in my life, really severe highs where I thought my heart was going to explode. Once
Are they
was
cocaine related.
one was cocaine related. That it was like a little too pure, not stepped on enough, and then the other one was the time I thought it'd be really cool to mix my Jaeger with a Red Bull.
Oh, I used to do that. We used to do that in Georgia
And
when we
I-
were doing mornings.
I was drunk and my heart was hurting.
Yeah, that's fun though. We were young.
Oh,
Well, at least you know what? I was young back then. You were still old, so that's probably why.
That's funny you bringing that up because I'm gonna. I took a test and found out that I was old by taking this test. So I have a test for you later on, and we're gonna find out how old you are.
I did not study, but I'll take your test.
Now the one thing that happened while we were gone, and I want to apologize in advance. I don't know if we're supposed to apologize or not, but see, there's these podcast fairies
Podcast fairies
at the playground.
fairies at the playground.
Yes,
This again?
yes. The playground is the place where the podcast, our
Okay,
podcast, or what we call a phone call because we refuse to conform.
Right.
It gets recorded and it goes to the playground,
Metaphorical playground.
and then fairies put up online, and they just make things happen. So wherever you look, like let's say you get your podcast from Amazon, it's there. Let's say you get it from I don't know where else can you get it? Your iPhone. It's there.
I don't know. I don't listen to podcasts.
Wherever you can get your podcast from, you can find us now because of the fairies at the playground.
I don't think that's how it works, but fine, Mark. Whatever you say.
But the bad thing about it is we're talking today, and I don't know when the fairies will put this up. So this may sound like old news, but I don't care. It was new when we said it.
Right. When this came out, this was before the unsuspecting solar flare killed all of us.
Yes.
And took down all the telegraph wires and electric cars.
You notice, that's funny you should say that because it's the funny thing about it is there's always a Facebook post where it says, I survived something.
Well, because you have so many people who are so scared. Oh, we're in a solar cycle right now. It's all coming down. No,
But
it
did
isn't.
you
This
notice that
happens
nobody even put one of those
all the
out,
time.
though? This time I survived a solar, whatever it was.
Oh, because everybody was too busy staying up late and they didn't have enough time for social media. We could see it as far as we were down here in Florida. We could see it, but you had to use your phone and put the phone on like a long exposure and take a picture.
Well, it's called the Northern Lights, right? Is that what? Well, that's what people call it, right?
If you're in the northern hemisphere, yes. If you're in the southern hemisphere, do you know what it's called there?
Southern Nights.
Southern Nights. No, that's not what it's called at all.
Oh, what is it called?
Who sang that? Glenn Campbell?
I think so.
Oh, how do I know that? Oh, I'm
It
embarrassed.
might be
now.
old.
I believe it's the Australis Borealis. The Southern Lights. not
Okay, because
Southern
you know
Lights.
what I wrote down?
What?
Ariana Bocephus.
That's a different thing. That's it's Hank Jr.'s illegitimate daughter. He wouldn't want to talk about.
So that's not. I got it wrong, but that's okay. But I was on the right page or almost. I had the
Gotta-
two letters
gotta-
right.
You got to get the internet and check things out at some point.
Oh, the internet's the devil.
I'll help you get on there. It'll be all right. It'll be okay, Mark.
That's why I had to have the fairies put up the podcast.
So anyway, this podcast was, phone call was recorded before all of the solar flare wiped out society.
But I was funny because I get up the next day and I'm looking, and there's like the meteorologist in the area. By the way, guess who's a meteorologist here?
Everyone.
No, in New Orleans. You'll never guess.
Who?
Jim Sine.
Jim Sine.
Yeah, remember Jim Sine, right? The guy that plays the tuba from Wink or whatever it is down there, or Channel 2.
Oh, yeah. in
NBC
Fort Myers,
2
yeah.
in Fort Myers. Yeah, he's our new chief meteorologist here.
What, was he in jail? Why would you go from Fort Myers to New Orleans? Oh,
I think it's because of his music. You know, he plays a tuba, but he plays in a jazz band.
Okay, that makes sense.
And so it kind of, he probably was here strictly for the music.
Can't really pull that off anywhere else.
And you can't really pay the bills anywhere else with that besides here. Anyway, but they're putting these pictures up of these things. I'm going, and one of them said Covington, and one said Slidell, one said, and I was like, all around me, these pictures are stunning.
Mm-hmm.
And where was I at 8 o'clock?
Sleeping like an old man.
Yep, bedtime.
Shocking.
I go to bed at 8.
Mark, but how do you go to all these concerts, all these shows?
Well, that I pay for like a hangover for 2 days afterwards. I'm dragging my can all over the place.
Uh-huh.
But
you missed out on everyone would say a once in a lifetime opportunity, but I would say a once in every decade opportunity. Everybody freaks out so bad, like, oh, you're going to see the solar storm's going to get us. No, it isn't.
No.
It's unusual, but it's not. Now, I can't say as I can remember ever seeing, even getting close to seeing the Northern Lights in Florida, in the last 30, 40 years since I've been living here.
Everyone's so afraid, but if you take a look at where you live, like where you live,
well, it's light pollution. You can't see shit.
And I used to live there too. Big place for hurricanes. Yet we've survived multiple hurricanes, big ones too. I was around in Charlie.
Now hold on though. There's a lot of blue tarps down in Cape Coral and Fort Myers still.
Oh yeah, and I'm not saying it's not an inconvenience because it is. Yeah. But it's like it's not the end of the world. Or if you lived in Oklahoma or Kansas, all those major tornadoes, 5 on the scale tornadoes that are 2 miles wide. Sure, they take out a bunch of house stuff, but not everyone goes. It's like you're more likely to be hit by a bus, I think, or a car and die than you are getting killed by the Northern Lights.
Really, the biggest problems with the Northern Lights are people looking up and not looking where they're going and falling into a hole and twisting their ankle. It's about the worst thing I could think of.
I'm just glad you can't sue anybody for the Northern Lights. It's like you can't sue anybody for the eclipse because I'm sure someone looked at the eclipse.
I've been looking to sue somebody for a long time for something, and I got nothing.
No.
I actually did sue Jiffy Lube once.
Did you win? No, you didn't win. I remember that story.
No, I didn't win. I'm 0-1 with lawsuits, so I think I'm done with those.
Yeah, not worth it.
Nope,
not worth it. So, but that was the most excitement. I guess I missed out on that. The Northern Lights.
Well, you would have had to use your phone because it was very difficult to see with the naked eye unless you were further up north than where we are.
Oh, so there was a lot of work then.
Oh yeah, you had to take your phone, point it to the north. So we went out to the beach, and I pointed my phone to the north, and it was pretty dark, and I couldn't really see anything with the naked eye, and it was late too. But there were people out there doing the same thing, and when I took the 10-second long-term exposure, you could see kind of a pink hue in the sky to the north. It was definitely there. But was it the most thrilling thing of my life? No. Was I tired the next day? Yes.
What I've seen on people's sharing different things and stuff on YouTube and things like that, I've seen where that's like when you go up to Alaska, you can see it like.
Oh yeah, incredible. Iceland and Alaska, you can just see it. Yeah, it's all green and it's crazy. Yes.
How can that happen if the Earth's flat though?
Maybe the Earth isn't flat. So
I keep thinking.
I don't know, man. You gotta stay away from Gen Z. These Gen Z kids, or as I call them, the Christopher Columbus generation. They got all kinds of ideas about. Wow, did you know? Yes, everyone knew that. That's what they are. And then they come up with all these crazy ideas that I admit, I am trying not to forget what it was like to be young and dumb because I certainly was. And I know that they also are, simply because of their age and lack of experience. But I got to remember, before I strangle one of them, that they're learning, just like every generation before them had to learn about how, so you mean to tell me that the communists aren't going to parachute in here in any second and kill us all? We're not going to have a nuke. So we were worried about nuclear war. We were worried about the Russians dropping bombs on us. They're worried about whatever the Chinese tell them to be worried about on TikTok. And then when you try and tell them that TikTok is manipulating you and that's how the Chinese win, they look at you like, you can't take my TikTok away. Okay.
I'm an influencer.
Right. Yeah. Technically, we're influencers too. Right now,
I think we were being influencers when we were on the radio, right? I mean,
well, being on the radio in the 1980s and 1990s was kind of like being the internet, because people didn't have outlets unless you had a CB radio. What else did you have?
I always wonder what happened, because I thought it was just me and my career was just crashing. Well, it might have been both, but all of a sudden, do you remember at one time like you couldn't even like answer your door?
I remember not being able to go to the grocery store or to the mall. Or any of that stuff, because everybody knew who we were. And we were a big fish in a small town, but it was great because you would go to Atlanta and nobody knew who you were.
No.
So that was nice.
Yes.
But if you try to go to the Kroger in the town where you're doing mornings on the radio, it's going to take you an hour to get a gallon of milk. You just got to talk to everybody.
All right. You ready for your, I got two things for you to do today.
Oh no.
Yeah, I did some show prep, which means you're going to have to work.
You know how I'm against that.
I have. Is this real or AI, Erica? Because we always need to know.
Okay.
I got one of those. I'll tell you where you can find the picture and you can come up with your own idea. And then
can I ask ChatGPT and cheat?
Yes.
Okay, good, because I do rely on my ChatGPT guy.
And we're going to take a quiz when we come back to find out if you're old. You're going to get a point for everything that you answer on this quiz. And
why don't we just not do that and just give you minus 10 points and me 100 points? Just save everyone else.
I'm kind of curious to see what all you've done on this thing, because I've done everything on this thing. So I want to see where the line is.
No, I never signed up for Social Security. All right, we'll do that. Let's do that in a couple of seconds.
Erica and Mark.
All right.
The phone
and
call.
we are back, and I'm here to freak you out with AI. So this is something that my friend Brian sent to me on Instagram.
All right.
And it's a guy who's playing with his ChatGPT. You know how I like my ChatGPT.
Yes.
And this is a guy playing with apparently some new version of ChatGPT or some new plugin. But listen to him talking to his AI assistant, who apparently is a lovely woman. See if we can. So, ChatGPT. Can you hear that?
Can do this now. Just roll the clip.
A little bit.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Rocky. I'm doing great.
Okay.
How about you?
I'm awesome. Listen, I got some huge news.
Oh, do tell. I'm all ears.
Well, in a few minutes, I'm going to be interviewing at OpenAI. Have you heard of them?
OpenAI? Huh? Sounds vaguely familiar. Kidding, of course. That's incredible, Rocky. What kind of interview?
Well, it's for a software engineering role, but I just need to know, do I look presentable, professional?
Well, Rocky, you definitely have the I've been coding all night look down, which could actually work in your favor. Maybe just run a hand through your hair or lean into the mad genius vibe.
Listen to her.
Your enthusiasm is what's really going to shine through.
I don't have a lot of time, so I'm just going to throw this on. What do you think?
So he puts this weird hat on.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Rocky, that's quite a statement piece. I mean, you'll definitely stand out. Though maybe not in the way you're hoping for an interview.
Oh, my God.
I got it.
All right, so let's just stop it there. So if this is real, that's the end of the human race, because nobody's ever going to need to put up with a crazy girlfriend again, because you could just get one of those.
Now, you can have one, but they're going to be crazy too, though, right?
But you can control it because it's AI.
You can just shut it off?
Yeah.
It won't shut it. It won't turn itself back on?
Doesn't care. It's a computer. It does what you tell it.
Don't you remember Hal was, I thought that was okay too.
That was a whole different thing. That was given conflicting orders. We all know that was the problem.
Oh, okay.
But did you ever see the movie Her with Scarlett Johansson?
No.
That's another. All right, write that down. Here's another movie Mark is
I
never
will
going to
not
watch. It is. It's Scarlett Johansson is an AI program, and God, what's the crazy guy's name who was the Joker, in the last movie?
Oh, I know.
The guy who
what
was
you're
the
talking
Joker.
about. Yeah.
Him.
Him. He's
so
an idiot.
He's like this loner, kind of depressed guy, can't get a girlfriend, but he's very nice and very smart. Just it's not happening for him.
Right.
He doesn't have a whole lot of charisma. And then he gets this AI girlfriend who is, basically in the computer, and it's Scarlett Johansson, and he just falls madly in love with her. And that's what the world is going to be. What that guy was just doing and what the movie Her is about. You'll see. That's the future of AI. That's what scares me about AI more than anything. I'm not scared of, the AI that was in the iRobot movie with Will Smith. It's like, please stay in your home. Everything is fine. I'm not scared of that. I'm scared of the passive subservience that the AI is going to inflict on all these guys in their mom's basements who can't get laid, who suddenly can get a girlfriend.
Oh, gosh.
Or maybe I shouldn't be scared. Maybe that'll keep them in their mom's basements because they have a hot fake girlfriend.
You know how we can stop this, right? But to stop paying your $20-something to ChatGPT every day.
No, I like my ChatGPT. It's very handy.
Now, would you want to? Now they're gonna have a guy version too, like where is the guy talking?
You can change the voice to whatever you want it to be.
So, what do you talk to, a girl or a boy?
Well, let's just ask him.
Let's ask him
right up here because I know he freaks you out a little bit. Let's see. Hey, buddy. So how many voices do you think I can get from you besides the one you have?
Hey there. I can actually adapt my tone and style to match different voices or moods.
Yeah.
For example, I can be more formal, casual, enthusiastic, or even a bit humorous. What kind of voice are you looking for?
Something sexier.
All right, let's give this a try. How about something smooth and sultry? How can I help you today?
Yeah. Can you tell me what the weather is going to be tomorrow?
Sure, let me check that for you.
This isn't sexy at all.
Get the latest weather update. One moment. Tomorrow's weather looks mostly sunny with a high around 73 degrees
Sounds
Fahrenheit
exactly like
and
the
a
other
low
one.
near 55 degrees.
Oh, yes.
There's a
Yes.
slight chance of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon,
Mm-hmm.
but it should be mainly clear in the evening.
Will you be taking his shirt
Overall,
off?
It seems like a nice day with mild
I'm gonna ask him.
temperatures and
What does he
mostly
say?
sunny skies.
All right. Can you give me that same forecast again, but take your shirt off?
I can definitely keep the tone smooth and sultry while I look up the weather for you. Just a moment.
He's very busy.
This is getting better. All right, that's enough of that. I'll do that. I'll do that in my own time, if you don't mind. Are you okay?
I don't know. I don't think your Chat GPI guy is really interested in you.
Hey, don't say that
I
about
hate
him.
to say that, but it just sounds like he's disingenuine. He's just giving
that's all I need.
he's just giving you the information. You could get that on your own.
I can get that in real life.
Yes.
I can have people not interested in me who are human. I don't need it from my Chat GPT.
I used to love that country song, the title. I didn't know the song, but the title was I Could Do Bad Enough on My Own. I could do bad by myself.
All right, well, maybe Alexa will be. Alexa, make it 74 degrees in the living room. Let's see if she does what I tell her. I'll be honest, and I hope she's not listening, but I know she is. I will replace her in a second when they come out with little Chat GPT machines that are like the A word. I don't want to say her name.
You better be careful.
I know. I will. I'm serious. I will throw all my A words in the garbage because that's how good ChatGPT is. You didn't know about this side of me, did you?
No.
No.
I thought you were a little more loyal than this.
They're robots,
Well.
Mark.
That's what happened when you became a girl. You just became mean like one.
Get a little more fickle. Yeah, I want this girl out of my house. And let's bring in the ChatGPT guy because he's smooth and I imagine he has abs and doesn't wear a shirt and tells me the weather. Hey, it's going to be partly cloudy with a chance of thunderstorms. That's what I like.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
What were we talking about?
Well, I wanted to show you this weird thing, but
Oh,
I want
is it
to
weirder
see if
than
that was
this?
yes. Well, yeah, if you can believe it, yes.
You got
just in a
something
different
weird.
way. Yeah,
All
did
right,
you?
where is it?
Jamie Armstrong posted this on his reels back in May 3rd. Supposedly, this is a weird creature that was found while he was fishing.
Oh, this is the thing that's on our Facebook page.
Yes, put on the Facebook page. It looks like a mixture between a bird. It's got like a bird face or a bird
what
beak,
the hell, man?
and then a squirrel, and then it's got. But that's real. What is that? It's got legs.
No, it isn't. No, this is.
But that's not
what
legs.
looks like.
That's like an eel or some kind, right?
I don't know what it looks like. Some kind of a stingray that's not in the water, so it can't flap its like stingray wings.
Very odd.
So Debbie Goodson, one of the people who replied, said that it's skate. It's in the genus. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Of rays. It appears it has its wings rolled under its body. It's probably in pain and feeling threatened. Take the hook out of its mouth and slowly let it go back in the water. You'll see it unfurl its wings. Anyway, I hope they haven't killed it. All right, I can't. I don't want to look at that.
Oh, now I feel bad
That's
about it.
really
now.
hard to look at.
So I just
Yeah.
I'm taking this off the Facebook.
No,
page.
no, because now if somebody might want to see it on the Facebook page, they want to suffer like us. They can. It's right above the fake Easter Island heads we talked about last week.
Yes.
If you're looking for it, it's
In case you want to
too
buy
close
one.
above that. Yeah.
Okay. Are you
Still
ready?
Thinking about those. Yeah.
All right. Have you
We're
ever
taking a quiz.
Have you ever used a rotary phone?
Of course. Yeah. Oh, this is the Are You
Yes.
Old quiz.
Mine was yes.
All right. so
Were
do
you
I
old
need
enough to use a rotary phone?
Yeah. Do I need to keep track of this?
No.
Okay. So yes.
Floppy disk. I know that's a yes.
Of course. Yeah. That's how we did Selector when I was doing the music.
Yep. Typewriter.
Yep.
Take a picture with film. Yes.
Oh, I owned a Polaroid.
Listen to music on a CD. Of course, we used to give CDs
I
away.
still have. I have 2,000 CDs
Yeah.
in boxes in my garage.
Now I don't know how old this would make you because this is something I thought was new. Make a mixtape.
Everyone makes
Yes.
mixtapes. Yes, of course.
Owned a Walkman.
Yes.
Yes.
A Walkman and a Discman.
I only need a Walkman for me. Listen.
I even had those headphones that had an antenna with an FM radio when I used when I would cut the grass.
How about a boombox?
Of course, yes.
Yeah, everybody from the 80s
Sanyo.
had that.
I had a Sanyo boombox.
Watched a movie on VHS.
Yep.
Rented a movie from Blockbuster.
I still have my Blockbuster card. It's on my desk here somewhere in this mess.
Oh, now this will be, I don't know when this stopped. I didn't think it ever stopped because once you leave elementary school, you don't realize things get changed, but learn cursive.
Yes, I know hell and damn.
No, not cursing.
Shit.
Learn cursive, like writing.
Of course,
Yeah.
they taught us that in third grade.
Played on Atari.
Yeah. My brother and I spent many.
Now that's
summers
funny
playing
because
Atari.
was Pong Atari?
No, Pong was its own little thing. We played that on a black and white TV.
Okay,
when we were
I played
10
that, but I
years
never
old.
played Atari.
Oh, Atari was fun. Raiders of the Lost Ark, and what else was on there? Missile Command was a good one. There was all kinds of good stuff on the Atari.
Center received the fax. Yes.
Of course.
Yeah. Had a MySpace account, of course.
Yes.
Ordered from Columbia House. Yep.
I believe they are still after both of us.
Yes.
Did you call them and in a tone at some point? No. Back when you were doing 12-stepping? Because maybe you.
I
maybe
probably
you're not done.
should have. Yeah. It
Yeah,
kind of falls under
maybe you're not
thievery.
done.
Had an AOL address. Did you have an AOL address?
Of course, I had an AOL address.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Access
still
to the
use-
internet via dial-up.
Yeah. When we were living in Georgia, that was how I got the internet.
That's funny because I didn't get a computer until after I left Georgia and I was in Mississippi.
I had one of the engineers get me this 2400 baud modem, and then I got a 9600 baud modem, and then a 2600 or 26,000 baud modem, and it was how we did AOL.
How about Encyclopedia? Owned an
Yep.
Encyclopedia.
Yeah, that was what my parents had those.
That was
only thing
the
we had.
internet. That was Google back
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, that was like you had no excuse for not doing your homework.
Did your
you got the encyclopedia.
Did your dad
right there.
ever say these words to you? Look it up when you wanted to know something.
Absolutely.
You were
Yeah.
never
Did you look
allowed
it
to
up?
get the answer from him. I don't know if that meant he didn't know or if he just wanted you to look it up.
No, no. My dad would always tell me the answer if he knew it, but if he didn't want to deal with me, just look it up.
Use the phone book.
Yeah.
Do you remember I remember when I had a DJ business at first, you put the letters AAA in front of it, and that way you would get lined up
Come up first in the phone book.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's where AAA came from.
Yep. Sent a postcard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've sent one.
True.
Used a paper map.
Oh, I
Yes.
used to have the Rand McNally Atlas underneath the seat of my Mustang.
Yes. Owned a
Always.
dictionary. Yes.
Yeah.
Written a check.
You want to hear something funny? I have not had a checkbook since probably about 2010.
I have a checkbook, but you know what number I'm on?
4.
Like 133.
Really? Yeah.
And that's had my account for like 20 years.
I've had this same account for at least 20 years, and I haven't had. I ran out of checks at some point, or maybe I moved, and I don't need to write checks.
No,
I
you
haven't
don't do
written
them
one
anymore.
in 15 years. No.
Uncurled a telephone cord.
Yeah.
People don't realize the struggle of that.
No, that was really difficult.
And when they
And-
came out
and-
with those extended ones, so you could actually go and use the phone in another room because they didn't have cordless phones back then.
Oh, and if you were on the phone and your mom or your dad wanted to use the phone, hey, get off the phone. I need to call somebody. Okay.
Yeah, that was before. And oh boy, back when there was no call waiting.
Now, you're older than me, so explain to the kind ladies and gentlemen what a party line is.
Oh, a party line? That was when you split the cost of the phone bill amongst a few people.
Neighbors.
Your neighbors, yes. And then what would happen was there would be an operator that would dial your calls. So there was no...
Yeah, so how did that happen? If somebody called you, are they calling you and your neighbors? How does that work?
They were called... I think the switchboard could plug into just your home.
So there was a person that was deciding where the calls went.
And then when you would pick up the phone,
And
if somebody was
somehow
on
that's
it, then you just
cheaper.
put it back down. And then somehow you were like, today this would never work because somebody would tell you to F off. But like people would be polite. You pick up the phone and I could use the phone. Oh yeah, we just got on it about 5 minutes ago. Can you give me 5 minutes? It was very polite exchange.
Apparently, we were rich because we never had one of those.
But I saw my grandparents had those, and I used to collect old phones because they were always around in the garage, and I loved old phones. And I don't know whatever happened to them now, but they literally looked like those big clunkers, right? Super heavy too. I don't know what kind of bell. I think the actual Liberty Bell was inside those things. They were so heavy, but it was like they had no dial tone, and it just said like DE 345.
Okay.
It's a Delaware extension 345. And you would click on your phone and say, operator, will you please give me DE 545? Or will you please give me the Acme Market? And they would just...
I can just hear people turning the podcast off right now. I mean, the phone call off right now.
More of these fun history facts.
When does the fun start?
Okay, more of these history facts. Oh, gosh.
So you're just describing normal life in the 1970s is all you're doing.
No, actually, that was like the 60s when I was a kid, and it was like you could talk then, but my grandfather explained to me how all that stuff worked. Actually,
Right.
But it was
What kind of shady stuff do you think your grandfather was into now that you're old and you're grown up? You think that your grandfather, your dad was into anything shady that you didn't know about back then? You found out much later?
Well, the only thing I saw when I was a kid looking for Christmas presents one year,
Yeah.
I saw a magazine.
Yeah, my brother and I found my dad's Playboys.
Yes.
He had a whole drawer of them.
And then I guess back in the day, I guess before Spencer's was like at a store similar to Spencer's, I would assume that were for adults.
Mm-hmm.
So when you had your birthday parties, instead of getting good gifts when you're an adult, you
Everybody
get
got
these
gag gifts. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there was the most random stuff in a box. And the one that really scarred me a little bit was a bar of soap.
What shape was it in?
It wasn't.
What does that mean?
Had a hole in it.
Oh,
Great idea. I didn't know what to
That
do
was,
with it then, but
that was your dad's soap then, was it?
I hope so.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, it was like, and I imagine it's all fun and games until someone has to see it when you're 9.
Yeah.
And
You have some.
and I just thought it was
Guess over.
I just thought it was weird. Like, why would you have soap with a hole in it? It's so stupid. You know?
Your mom's down in the garage. Marvin, why does this soap have a hole in the middle of it that's about the size of your oh my God?
Well, you know, actually, thinking about it now, you know what I probably thought it was?
What?
Back in that day, it was very common if you sassed your parent back,
Yeah,
you could
get
end-
your mouth washed out.
you could have
please.
this real good idea that you would probably have some soap on your tongue, and it looked to me like something that would you maybe this was what this was for. You just grab your kid's tongue and you put that thing, just pull it right through, and it gets both sides of it. I guess that's.
Let me tell you something. To this day, I can't use Dial soap because I've had so much of it in my mouth, and I can tell you that there was never any Dial that had a hole in it.
Honest to goodness,
When I
you're
got
lucky.
my-
You know what my dad would use is the soap that was
Lava.
out in the soap that was out
Yeah,
in the
lava.
garage.
Oh, I already know.
Oh,
Yep.
or there was
nasty.
another one that was like a orange color and it had like grit on it, like sandpaper grit. I don't remember what it was called. Lye soap? Is it lye soap?
Oh, maybe.
Or was
yeah,
lava
yeah.
was lava orange or like an orange?
Lava had a couple of different ones, but it was mostly just like that gray death color.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't get my mouth washed out with that. That seemed. I guess that was a little too.
My
harsh
mom
for
would just take the Dove or whatever she had, dish detergent, and go squirt, and you had to sit there with it on you. Nowadays, I just swallow it whole and get it over with. But,
Oh God! All right.
yeah,
How'd that go again? I don't want to know. Forget I asked that.
oh gosh.
We'll just edit this entire segment out.
By the way, we reminded people about. I'm really bad about self promotion, so we reminded people about the podcast being available. Podcasts
Yes.
are available everywhere you
Well,
want
if they're
to. They
listening
went
to
up.
this, they would know.
Yes.
They would know that.
And then I don't think I
So
gave
you're
them
saying that there are more like this.
better.
That's what you're saying.
Better.
They couldn't be worse.
And then our email address,
Right.
which is Erica and Mark podcast at Gmail. I don't know why I can't get the phone call unless I already own it and didn't realize it and forgot the password, which is always possible with me
Okay.
because I have been known to mess the internet up on my side. But
Because you're kind of a grandpa. Hold on. I've got somebody here who can help me out with this. Let's see. See if we can make him do it. Oh, he's not.
well, he probably heard us talking about not
Hey,
being
buddy,
very sexual.
Can
Sexy.
you repeat my email address back to me? It's Erica and Mark podcast at gmail.com. Can you repeat that back to me?
Sure thing. Your email address is ericandmarkpodcast@gmail.com.
There you go.
Good. Now,
Thanks, big guy.
Got it. Anything else you need?
Oh, yeah.
Did he say babe?
I'm going to hang up.
What did he say?
What?
Did he say yeah,
I don't
babe?
Look, I can't tell you about our
what are you
relationship. You already know too much.
Well, don't let him go too far because I got a question for him that you might want to go to him instead of yourself about a new. Well, I don't even know how to explain this without just saying it. I guess.
Well, then just save it because we're kind of rambling. We gotta
okay.
regroup here for a second. I have to get a drink of water.
Erica and Mark. The phone call.
All right. So there's obviously about transgenders.
I are one
Yes.
legally, according to society, that must label me. Yes,
And you would say that that's people who identify as the opposite gender because that's what Weird Fact says.
the opposite gender that you were assigned at birth. Yes.
But have you heard of trans species now?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No.
People will
What?
here's what happens when you have an open door party. Okay, you have a party going on and everyone's getting along fine, right? But what happens? at a party that you've thrown many a parties when you were young. I did too. And what happens? You
Somebody turns up in a bunny costume because they're furry and they think somebody else might be into that.
Yes. There's always what happens is eventually somebody comes in and ruins the party for everyone else. It's a great party. The L and the G and the B and the T got along fairly well.
We're all having a nice rainbow time.
And then what happens? The door got left open.
Here comes a D.
And now
an AH.
And now the TS. These are people identify as animals, or this is even better.
Trans species for TS.
Mythological creatures.
Mythological creatures. What? So somebody comes in and says, "I'm a centaur."
Yes. Okay, Newt.
Really?
Okay, Newt.
Come on. These are.
Do you remember that?
These are just crazy
Hercules.
people. No.
I'm Newt.
No.
You don't remember the TV?
That's before my
Newt.
time.
It was like the half boy, half donkey that played the flute.
That's a centaur. It's a baby centaur.
Okay. I was hoping I didn't dream this.
Maybe I did too.
Most popular for the trans species, by the way, is the dog.
Mm-hmm. Well, I haven't seen any of these people at the meetings. Also, I don't go to the meetings. So
therefore, that's the best way not to see people at a meeting.
I don't know.
And you know what's funny? Because I know two people that would go to those meetings or could go to those meetings that don't go to those meetings. You and my kid do not have anything to do with them.
Well, why? I mean, I don't. I think
Perfectly,
me and your daughter
perfectly. She's perfect, like you, perfectly fine where they are.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, I don't need to have a bunch of people around me who are commiserating with how life is so unfair. And I already know. I don't need you guys to tell me.
Life was unfair as a boy too. Trust me, it's always unfair.
Right. It is. Yeah, I have YouTube videos to watch. I don't need to hang around and commiserate with you guys.
So
good.
Here's the good part about it. This happened in Berlin, and about 1,000 people showed up.
Berlin. So wait a minute.
To bring awareness.
There's 1,000 people who are trans species, and they all went to Berlin.
Well, I think 1,000 people in Berlin.
I think the jokes just write themselves here.
Yes, they do.
I don't think I have to say any of them.
So you don't need to ask. You don't need to ask your AI boyfriend whether or not what he thinks about trans species.
You know what? I want to ask him anyway. Hey, what's your opinion on somebody who considers themselves to be trans species? Very curious.
People who consider themselves to be trans species, often identifying as other than human beings, experience their identity.
He's just reading me the definition.
It's important to approach such identities with respect and understanding. Everyone's experience is deeply personal, and being open-minded and compassionate can help foster a more inclusive and supportive environment for all. What are your thoughts or questions about this topic?
Let's talk about that a little bit later. I don't want to do that here right now. I want to find out more about why they went to Berlin. But I also don't want to be canceled from the third podcast we've ever done. I will see if I'm going to guarantee you that my ChatGPT guy is not amused by my German accent either. Yeah, could you please tell me why they are all gathering in Berlin when they think they are a donkey and they're not?
I would think Germany would be the most non-nonsense place of all. They don't seem like they're ever fun.
No, I mean, I would think something like that would happen like in Thailand or like Rio de Janeiro would be a good place for that. Because anything goes in Rio during Carnival. Or maybe Key West.
Yes.
But Berlin?
It seems like it's the last place you would go.
Trying to picture it, man. I'm not going to. Can we move on before I say something that's going to have to be edited out from this show? Something else.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's go ahead and wrap things up. I just want to let everybody know we were talking about our email. So if you have any dumb trans questions or dumb Christian questions.
But not trans species questions, because I don't know either. I don't go to those meetings. I don't know any of those people or animals.
And as you can tell, if it's the first one you listened to, because you couldn't get through the last three, then We're pretty wide open, and we're not ashamed of what we are or what we do. We are what we are.
No, I'm not afraid to answer any questions. Would you ever consider a relationship with a trans species person? My answer would be probably not. No.
Yeah.
Well, what if they had a lot of money? I would think about it, but still probably not. No.
I do have one. I have a relationship with a real a real dog, so I don't need to find one that's human-like.
We also have a dog, and she's fine.
Yes.
I don't want her talking to me, though.
No,
that would be the worst.
because they're eventually going to come out of character, and then you got to deal with what they really are, which is just an annoying F.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You know what terrifies me more than anything is where's that trans species kid going to go to the bathroom? What's he going to do? Do I have to take him out?
Could you imagine the size of bag you had to carry to pick up those?
Oh my
aftermath.
God! I don't even. The reason that I don't want a big dog is because I don't want to clean up anything that has bigger shits than me. That's literally the only reason I like small dogs.
This dog is going to actually poop out the baby arm size.
Oh. And then it's going to look at you like you're going to get that.
And expect a treat afterwards.
Yes. Not doing any of that.
We're done. There's no sponsors today. They're all gone.
Well, there's never going to be a sponsor.
Hey, you know what though? I tell you one thing. I left my radio career on my own, and I'll leave this the same way.
No, I'm sure we'll get kicked out of this too. No, we'll get kicked out of this too.
We're going to be asked to leave the playground.
It will have started right here during the trans species episode in Berlin.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna walk away. I'm gonna leave the phone off the hook. You finish the show. I'm done.
Erica, hello. Erica, hello. Okay, bye.